तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्।
My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan Baba and my loving Om Sai Rams to one and all. Welcome to our second installment, like we promised the last time, the pet workshop. This time we're doing pet clothing or jackets rather. Thank you, Auntie Prema and team, for painstakingly and putting this in such an easy manner for us to be able to sew these lovely jackets for our furry family. And I'm looking forward and excited for this workshop. And thank you also for, all the ladies in all the regions reaching out to the young adults and assisting us to make this June 16th a very special one. And we're going to be spreading our love, Swami's love rather, through us and warmth to all our four-legged family friends. So over to you, Auntie Prema and team. Loving Sai Ram.
Om Sri Sai Ram. We hope you're going to be loving this program this evening. The requirements for Pet Jacket 1, you'd have a look at the jackets later on, with our pets dressed up already. We need paper for making up the pattern. You could use, any white paper, trestle paper, or newsprint, or even brown paper could be used in the construction of making up the pattern. A pair of sharp scissors, chalk, or any, fabric markers that you could use for marking through your patterns. Next slide would be the thread, the Velcro tape, fabric that you could have in either contrast or a plain and a print. And if you buy fabric that's 150 centimeter width, normally the polo fleece comes in that width. It's just 0.3 of a meter for each. A tape measure that you would use for measuring to make up the pattern. Sai Ram, next slide. Om Sri Sai Ram. Welcome to another Pet Seva workshop. I know you've all enjoyed the bed making. So now we're going to go out to making jackets for our little pets. And depending on the sizes, we need a pattern. And I know it's going to be difficult to explain to have the construction made. I'm just going to give basic measurements that's required to cut these little jackets. Right, depending on the size of your pet, at the neck area, right, just where her shoulder starts. We're going to measure that point to, she's sitting, that's fine. That's where we want the jacket to end off. So that would be the back length as we would refer to, from that point to where she's sitting. So she is 40 centimeters, so that would be her measurement. We need a measurement around the neck area. So when we do our fasten on, we're going to get that measurement. So it's going to go around the neck and it's going to come up to the center back again. So that will be the one measurement for the neck. Then we need a torso measurement or a belly measurement. That would go around the stomach area, the torso area, and come up again to the center back area. So that would be the measurement we would require. Then we need a little bit of the armhole shoulder area. So if we go, like to the widest part of our underarm to the shoulder area, that would give us a measurement there. Right? So we would take that measurement. That would be that measurement there. So these are just the basic measurements that we require to have the construction of the pattern made up. Thank you. Sairam, to construct the pattern, this would be our back length, center back length. You know, we measured from the neck to just at the base before the tail. So that would be that length. This length across here would be the belly or the torso measurement, would be where my broken lines are. The 4 centimeters across there is the overlap. You know, we're going to put the Velcro on, so we need an overlap. So that's the overlap measurement. So the neck area here that we're shaping out was, you know, you're going to come around with a little curve, not too much, till you get your neck measurement there. So that would be there. And you would see also, I have an overlap here. So this is another 4 centimeters for the overlap. As we would call this probably the underarm and the armhole that's coming up. I've just used, you could use like I've used a side plate here just to give my circle. So we get a nice smooth circle that'll come in. You could just double check your measurements again from your shoulders across, and if it needs to come in, you know how broad your pet is, you would probably just come in and then you would shape that. So we'll cut this pattern out and then we'll cut 2 pieces of fabric. You know, you could use contrast fabrics or you could use a plain and a print. It needs 2 layers to be cut up. We will then leave a little opening at one of the ends. We will turn them inside out after we've sewn it, and then we will put our Velcro on. Saram, we've cut 2 pieces, right? There's a plain here, right side up. This is a print, right side up. You're going to have the right sides facing each other, right? The right sides will face each other, and then we will make it and we're going to bag it out. So as we stitch around, we leave a little opening for us to bag it inside out. So when we've completed it, we will, you know, bag it out, and then we will stitch the Velcros on. The Velcros will be put on after the whole garment is completed and pressed out. Here is a completed jacket. If you look at it, it's been made and it's been bagged, and if you see here, this is where the Velcros go. And when you have the Velcro, you have a hook and you have a smooth finish. This needs to be fastened. You would not put both the pieces on the top. One will go on the top and one will go under. So when it is fastened, it's going to hold. So that's how that will fasten up. That is the neck area. The same with the torso or the stomach area. You're going to put a piece of Velcro there, and the Velcro will be under. So one goes on the top, one goes under. And when you bring it around, they're going to fasten, and the Velcro will fasten the under part. So this is how it will finish off when you have it complete. The head is going to come up here. This is going to go under the neck, and this here is going to go at the stomach area, and this is going to lie across at the tail area. So this is now a completed jacket that you see here. And also remember, this can be reversible because it's done like this, and you could turn it around. And when you turn it around, your Velcro is automatically coming up on the opposite ways. So there we have the plain fabric coming out, and the same here, your Velcro will go there. So your jacket is now reversible, right? So here you have the plain on the top, and it becomes a lovely reversible little jacket. Thank you, Sairam. For jacket 2, we went in for a large dog. And you know, our pets normally, when the weather is bad and when it's raining, they love to run around and it's still cold. So we want something that's a little bit of a waterproof top layer. So here we have the polar fleece fabric that's warm, and this will be the under part of the jacket that will be closest to the body. The other fabric is the outside layer, and this is a waterproof resin finish fabric. The fabric you could also use is taffeta, that's water resistant, or the parachuting fabric. Any water resistant fabric is ideal. You know, like the ones that we have for our umbrellas, that kind of fabric that the water won't seep through. And we would require the Velcro tape. Like I've said, there is two parts to the Velcro tape that goes together, the hooks and the smooth finish that will fasten together. Right, so we need the Velcro, a chalk for marking, a pair of scissors that's nice and sharp, a tape measure to take our measurements from our pits, and thread for sewing. We require about a 1/2 meter of elastic. That's going to be the 3 or 4 cord. It's a narrow elastic that gets stitched to go over the hind legs. To take you through to the construction, this is now we're doing the construction of the pattern for a large pet. And remember, this jacket is going to be the polar fleece, it's warm underneath, and we're doing the water resistant fabric on the outside. We've had the measurements, like we said, the length is from the neck up to the base to where just above the tail. We had 63, so we've marked that area out there. And the torso, it's nice if you say from the neck area, and if you look to just in line of where the torso is going to be, get a measurement there. That's this measurement here would help you for the torso measurement. The torso measurement is the one that goes around the belly or the stomach area. So we worked out here to come in line was 20. So the middle of that would be 20, would come down straight across, we'd get a line across there. So we've made like a little bit of a nice little band to go over the belly. So we've taken down like about 20 centimeters to go around there. So don't forget, you also need your 4 centimeters overlap for your seam allowance and the overlap that you're going to put your Velcro. And the same would be here. We've done the neck and we've done a little curve on the neck. So once we have that neck area here, we went to 23 centimeters around there. So that is 23 for the neck part. And that would be half a measurement because our pattern is on the fold. And we've given the 4 centimeters extra here for the overlap of the Velcro. So our neck measurement plus, our neck measurement is there, plus the 4 centimeters there. We'll try and keep a bit of straight lines till we need to come down to the curve. And like I said, you know, we could use like a little saucer or something to help us to get a nice little smooth curve for that part of the neck to join into our straight lines. So we're going to go there and we're going to get that little shape there, and then from there we're going to keep that line straight. So just keep that line up to there straight. And at the tail part we're going to go a little bit of a straight line, and then we're going to shape it up. It's going to go through the back of the body of our pet, so we're going to go down there. And like I said, this is the torso area here. So this is our torso measurement here. And we've added the 4 centimeters. We have now cut out the panels. We needed 2 panels. One is in the polar fleece, the right side up. The other one is in the water resistant fabric. You got to see which is the right side of the fabric. Some fabrics, the water repellent side is both sides is coated. If you're using taffeta, one side would be coated and the under would not be water resistant. So the right sides of the water repellent fabric against the polar fleece fabric. So before we put them in line and align it, we have elastic here. You could either use a 3-cord or a 4-cord elastic. I've requested that, you know, we had put nicks on. There was 2 nicks on either side for the leg area. So this elastic is going to go on the neck. We're going to place the elastic there and we're going to put it into position. And it's going to go around to that neck where we have the second neck, and we're going to pin it. And the elastic is going to be coming into the body. Don't let the elastic come out. It must be inside. We're going to do that to the both sides of this garment. So the elastic is going to get pinned there. To the other neck, that's there. You would see what the elastic is, the purpose of this elastic over the leg area. So once we've done that, we can tack it up and make it nice and secure. And then we're going to put the water repellent fabric over. Align your fabrics together, all in place. And when you're sewing, you just need to be careful. Your water repellent fabric would have no stretch, and your polar fleece fabric has a bit of stretch. So when you're sewing, have all the panels put into place first, because if you're just going to sew from one end to the other, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have excess fabric coming out, and you won't know how to let the fabric out. So align everything together, making sure it's kept together. Pin it into place. Use as many pins as you want so the fabric is not moving. Water repellent fabric is very slippery to work with, and it's very easy for it to go out of shape and get distorted to the other panel you have. So make sure that. Here is the jacket 2, our waterproof jacket, all made up. All we need to do is to fit in the Velcro tapes. I've requested that the elastics be put. We had those 2 nicks here. The elastics here is to go over the leg, the back leg, the hind leg. So when it's worn, this is not going to sway. It'll be held back in place with the elastic. So this is why we put this piece of elastic on. And when you're dressing the pet up, it's advisable to put the hind legs first through the elastic. If you do that, so you don't have to stretch the elastic so much to go over the back. So once that is done, then comes now the Velcro tapes. The Velcro tapes are going to be put normal because this is now not going to be reversible. You want the waterproofing on the outside. So we have our Velcro. It's always nice to stick them together, get them together. So you're cutting the 2 pieces together, and both would be one length. So when it goes down onto the opening, you're not going to have one big piece and one small piece. But if you do, you can always cut the excess off. Right? So stick it together, and you're going to hold it in place there. So that's your required length you need, and we're going to cut the Velcro out. So that's for the torso area. The Velcro will go there. For the neck area, you're going to do the same. You're going to just pull the corners out properly, and you're going to cut in a piece that's going to go. They just stick together when you put them together. You need a piece that length, so you're going to cut that there, and then you're going to stitch this. Now remember, the waterproof fabric is going to be the outside. So when you're doing your Velcro, you're going to stitch your Velcro here. Let's just put this in place. You're going to do that there. You're going to stitch all 4 sides, and make sure it's well secured, because you're going to keep ripping it open, so you don't want your Velcro coming out. So once you've done this on the under, or the red part, the other side needs to go onto the opposite side, right? Whichever one, whether you're using the hook or the smooth part, it needs to go onto the opposite sides because of their overlap. I know the pins are a bit hard to go through, so once you hold it in place, you can stitch it. Jacket 2 is now complete, the waterproof one. We have the Velcro stitched on the neck area and on the torso, the stomach area. So when this garment is being worn, like I suggested, we'll do the hind legs first. So once the garment goes over the legs, Then we would do the torso area. We will fasten that up with the Velcro there and make sure that it's secure. And then we come off to the neck area, and there's a Velcro stitch on. We're going to fasten that on, and that is now fastened on. So now here is the completed garment. Right? That's going to go over the legs, over the torso area, and over the neck area. Right? So there's a completed jacket. And this now is a waterproof jacket. If you are in a very cold area, I suggest you could use the batting or the wadding underneath, in between the two layers of fabric. So that would also give you more warmth. So between the two layers, you would cut the, and if you're using the wadding, I suggest you use a 3 millimeter thickness wadding, so it doesn't get too bulky for your pet. And when you use that, you could also run some diagonal stitches, you know, to make it look like it's a quilted jacket. So when you use the batting on, and after it's all turned inside out, you could just do diagonal lines both ways, going across this way and going across this way. So it will give you a nice little quilted look. It will be a quilted waterproof jacket for your pet. So that's the other suggestion, and it's optional, however you want to have this completed. I hope this has been done, for you easily to follow. The main idea is to get your pattern and to do this cut up. And let's hope all our pets are going to be warm during this winter. Thank you, Jai Sai Ram. Requirements for jacket 3. This is now going to be made up from a t-shirt. So there's not much of stitching to be done. You need a pair of scissors, you need thread, you need a ready-made t-shirt. The t-shirt would be according to the size of your pet. If you have a small one, would be a children's size. And if your dog is a large, you would go into the adult sizes of the t-shirt. Probably like a small or a medium. And if your dog is very big, it would probably get to a large or an extra large. Safety pins. When we're going to fit this t-shirt on, we would require to have it pinned. So we don't want to hurt our pets. So we would use a safety pin, because we would take it off and then have it stitched on. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Om Sai Ram, I am Trishalia from the Young Adults. We, the youth, are not good at stitching, but we are definitely going to make up these items shown by the Ladies Forum in an easy step-by-step demo. Today, I am going for an easy garment that is reused for my furry friend, making a top jacket from a t-shirt. Our first step is going to be to remove the label so our furry friends are not uncomfortable. Depending on the size of your pet, you would require that size shirt. We have Saint, who is a small pet, so the t-shirt is a children's size 2 to 3. I will dress Saint and try to adjust the size to fit him. It's better to dress him with the t-shirt the wrong side out, so we mark with a pin, using safety pins so they do not get hurt. I'm going to dress Saint. So here's what you do. You hold the t-shirt stomach area to taper it. Also, make sure to mark the stomach area to be shaped so he can relieve himself without wetting his jacket. So now we are pinning Saint, our furry friend, to measure and make sure that it fits him properly.
Go.
So now we are going to remove this from Saint to ensure that we have the proper measurements when we are stitching.
Go.
Now that we have pinned our furry friend and got his proper measurements, We are going to remove the excess fabric to ensure that it fits in correctly. Now that we have sewn the bottom and shaped the underpart, we are going to try it on. Wow, now he is all dressed up. So, all the young adults, there isn't anything more easier. So, let's go for 96 t-shirts for our Youth Day Seva. Jai Sai Ram.
Loving Sai Ram's dearest embodiments of love. I'm sure you all enjoyed the video shared by Auntie Prema and the young adults. And sister, you made it seem so easy. So I think definitely the young adults can definitely head to 96 t-shirts for the Youth Day Seva. Dearest devotees, if you have any questions for Auntie Prema and the team, please do let us know. You may comment on the chat box or you may raise your hands. Sai Ram. Sai Ram, Auntie Prema. I think everything seems so self-explanatory at this stage. There's no questions on the chat box.
Thanks, Sister Nerina. These recordings will also be forwarded to the regions. Brother Vyasa and the media team will have this forwarded, so you could also follow the step-by-step videos on the makeup as you are making your garment up for your pet. Sai Ram.
Our most loving pranams at the lotus feet of our Divine Master, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, and dear embodiments of love, Om Shri Sai Ram. Our gratitude to Swami for the continuous opportunity to serve, and in particular relation to today's workshop, our furry friends, be it them at home or the animal shelters at the Young Adult Forum, will be serving, not just during the month of June, but as the year progresses as well. Our heartfelt gratitude to Auntie Prema and the Ladies Forum for so seamlessly taking us through the steps in making these very beautiful pet jackets. I'm sure all of you enjoyed following the steps that were so simple to understand. And like Auntie Prema mentioned, these will also be made available through the media team, through our various media platforms and WhatsApp groups during the course of the week. We'd also like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for joining us for the second workshop. We did have one about 2 weeks ago as well. Thank you for your participation and attendance and for your support towards the animal shelter sevas that are going to be taking place. But hopefully this has also come in use, like we mentioned, for our little embodiments of love that are also in our homes as well. At this point, I hand you back to Sister Nerina for closing comments and prayer. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Sai Ram. Let us all join in for the closing prayer. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyoti Gamaya Mitro Ma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba Ki Jai.